A good midday Thursday to you. This is the current pressure gradient with the frontal boundary working toward the region, and rain showers just now getting into some parts of western Vermont. You can see a fairly tight pressure gradient here, and this is illustrated by some strong gusty winds southeasterly, some downsloping aspect, as well as some channeling effects across the northern part of the Champlain Valley. Current temperatures are indicated here with generally 50s and 40s generally east of the Green Mountains, so those temperatures are going to be rising. Looking at the latest weather conditions, we're looking at precipitation that has moved across the region and becoming a little bit more scattered in nature, and this was expected. By the way, this more concentrated area of moisture in terms of rainfall will be spreading up the region and through the region tonight, and we should see some moderate rainfall out of this particular frontal boundary with more moisture streaming in from south to north. However, the main issue this morning and this afternoon is wind, and what we can see here is that we've seen some wind gusts up around 35, almost 40 miles per hour. A few of the reports, especially here, these strongest winds are going to be working into the region, but it's a little bit complex. We have kind of a combination of some channeling effects, especially affecting the northern Lake Champlain Basin, Champlain Islands region, and then some downsloping aspects, downsloping across the western slopes of the Green Mountains. So I'm going to stop this here, and we're going to take a look at the 850 millibar winds, roughly about the top of Mount Mansfield, and you can see the winds are more south-southwesterly aloft, just a little bit west from due south, and the strongest winds 47 knots, 45 knots, and so forth. Our winds are actually stronger here with this low-level jet that is located around parts of the northwestern Adirondacks, and you can see the winds here 56 miles an hour, or 56 knots, excuse me. That's over 60 miles an hour. And the lighter winds are actually to the south in the east of our region, around 37 knots indicated here at 850 millibars. So we have stronger winds aloft, a little bit of a downsloping from southeasterly winds coming down the mountain along the western slopes of the Greens, and a lot of channeling through the Champlain Valley. Just to give you an idea, some of these winds that we're seeing ahead of this frontal system, you can see roughly this is Lake Champlain, and this is some of the stronger winds that are working across parts of New York State and so forth. Again, here's the frontal boundary, and we can look at that in another way as we'll back out. And you can see the cold frontal boundary roughly right here, and allowing for some sunshine now across the Ohio Valley and the eastern Great Lakes. This will be working in during the overnight period, especially tomorrow morning, as all of this banding of showers will be heading on off to the east of us. But the main wind issues we'll have to watch because we have stronger winds aloft. I think that'll interact with some of our higher terrain, but it looks like it's going to be staying elevated above the valley floors as it looks right now. Again, the channeling winds will continue this afternoon. There's a sub-alert that's in effect into this afternoon. I'm going to continue that sub-alert for strong winds, gusty winds in the northern, especially Champlain Valley, Lake Champlain Basin, adjacent Franklin, western Chittenden, as well as the Champlain Islands is where going to be ground zero is going to be with these winds, gusting 40 to 45 miles per hour at times, with the downsloping aspect a little bit weaker. But these downsloping winds may kick in for a short period of time this evening. Looking at the Storm Prediction Center's pressure gradient, you can see a very tight pressure gradient here. Relaxes a little bit off to the west of us after that frontal boundary begins to work through. And you can start to see the wind shift here that's going to be working in during the overnight period tonight. And latest HRRR modeling, you can see the winds here are at their maximum according to the HRRR model. And then the winds have a tendency to decrease after about 3 o'clock. We may see a little bit of a lull until those stronger winds aloft start to kick in, but it may be just the higher spine of the Green Mountains that's most affected by these stronger winds. Net effect is we're going to continue the sub-alert into the afternoon, and we await to see the next latest model projections. And this is the European model, which has been pretty good and pretty much on top of this. You can see a little bit of indication of the green here with the stronger winds. That was roughly, that's going to be about 1 o'clock. However, as we get into about 7 p.m. this evening, you can see that expands. It's more affecting northern Vermont. And then as we get into about 1 o'clock in the morning, you can see the winds are strongest, and this is associated with that low-level jet max that's going to be working through the region. So this is indicating some winds that are of concern here. This may be alert criteria for tonight, so something we're going to have to watch, and we'll wait future model runs to make this determination on just how strong these winds are going to be. So it's a little bit of a complex issue. This is also going to be accompanied by some rain showers, which will probably set up a temperature inversion and buffer off the valley floors. So kind of a complex forecast in terms of wind, but it's mainly just fence line stuff, low wind event. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.